Every decade or so, there's a wave of these boring old school business models which take over and absolutely dominate. The crazy part is these business models mean you're not tied to a specific location. They're not tied to something flashy or sexy or trendy. These are just old school business models which absolutely crush, and every decade there's a different way things get reinvented. Right now, there's a massive wave of owners who are making a ton of money with these old school business models that they're revolutionizing with technology. Crazy part is these owners are able to do this from literally anywhere in the world. They utilize global talent as well as technology to dominate the competition for these old school industries. My name's Neil. I'm the CEO of Made This franchise. Currently, I'm in between the border of Rwanda and Uganda. I've been working and traveling remotely for the last decade or so. We have about 40 franchise locations who utilize this specific remote local business model as well. There's a lot of models which do this, and today I'm going to break down the 5 top franchise models which allow you to run these things completely remotely. Let's go. Now, the first boring old school business, which I love, is anything in the pet industry. So I used to work in private equity, and the partner would always say the best 3 industries to be in are babies, weddings, and pets, because Americans will spend a stupid amount of money without even thinking about it. Now, the pet industry in America is expected to be $150 billion. In the pet industry, there's a lot of different niches to pick. If we're trying to figure out which business can be mobile, which business can you run from anywhere in the world, I recommend 2 things. Number 1 is mobile pet grooming. Now, dogs need grooming all the time. Many homeowners who actually have dogs have disposable income as well. They don't want to groom their pets by themselves, so there's a big industry around mobile pet grooming. That's actually having a truck or referring out to someone who has a truck to go to the client's location and clean their pet. Now, I've looked into this extensively. Cost can be anywhere between $100 to $200 to $250 per grooming session. People typically get it every other week, so twice per month. And you can see how this compounds and stacks up. People want to spend a crazy amount of money on the pets, take care of them. Mobile pet grooming fills the need. There's a lot of really cool franchises in this space. I personally really like Wolfie's, which is a mobile pet grooming franchise. You get the vehicle, wrap equipment, and go out to the client's home and get recurring revenue business. For non-franchise options and a different option, take a look into doggy poop scooping. This is a real industry. Pretty much homeowners have their pets who poop in their backyard. They don't want to pick it up themselves, so they actually pay people $15 to $25 per week to just go into the backyard for 10 minutes and pick up dog poop. So there's a bunch of different niches in the mobile pet industry. I love this industry. The next industry I love, which I am very biased on, is the maid service industry, specifically residential cleaning. Now, I run a company called Made This, and I'm currently in rural Rwanda running my business fully remotely, which is a national franchise. How? Because this industry is so conducive for having a fully remote business. The way it works is cleaners go straight from their home to the job site. This is really only doable, I've seen, in residential cleaning, maybe some light commercial. Cleaners bring their own supplies and equipments, and the beauty is things get dirty all the freaking time. This industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry expected to boom, and the truth is the younger generations are very different from the older generations in that younger generations, Gen Z, millennials, want to spend money on services. This is where a lot of the disposable income is going. They don't know how to do handyman work, plumbing, whatever, like especially cleaning. They want to outsource it. So we've seen this industry absolutely booming. Now, there's a lot of franchises in this space. In my recommendation, if you want to be fully remote, there's actually only one, which is Made This franchise. The reason it's remote is because we don't require vehicles, wraps, equipment, none of that kind of stuff. Cleaners go from their home to the job site. Everything can be done from your home. You could travel if you want to after you get it set up. You could work full-time at home. It doesn't matter. It's a lean operation, which is very conducive to having a fully remote lifestyle if that's what you want. There's other players in the industry. There's Made Pro, there's Cleaning Authority, there's a lot of other franchises in the niche. My opinion, you got to figure out which one fits the vibe of what you're looking for the most. This next one is so boring and so necessary in the current environment, which is why I love it. It's senior in-home care. Now, back in the day, seniors would be sent to nursing homes and they'd get taken care of over there. More of the boomers want to stay at home. The thing is, they need help to do so. So one massive growing industry to service the baby boom population is senior care. Now, who you're actually selling to is the family members of the seniors. You're not selling to the seniors. The kids of the seniors who are 50, maybe 60 years old, they have money and they want reliable, caring company to take care of their parents. And typically the parents want that person at home. So this is not like a massive build out a nursing facility. You're simply going to send humans, which are either nursing care people or unskilled non-medical care, to the client's home. This is heavily recurring, obviously, and some of the billable hours get massive. Sometimes people want you there for 16 hours a day, and you could charge $40 to $50 per hour for this type of service. Now, I'd say in this type of service, you have to have a real passion for humans because you're getting into someone's family and helping them out at the very end. But this industry is completely booming by double-digit growth every single year. There's a lot of different franchises in the home service, in the senior care service space. One I've heard of which I looked into more, is called Home Instead. They do non-medical in-home care. The billable hours can get insane, so you could stack up recurring revenue as fast as possible. What I have not seen truly is a very good model that utilizes a lot of good technology and convenience for the seniors. And that could exist in the franchise market, could not. But if I was to build a company in this space, I would make it super tech enabled. Have Ring cameras everywhere, have ways that the kids could watch the parents of what they're doing, just set up everything for them, make it so seamless. And the truth is this business can be run from anywhere. Why? Because the caretakers are the ones who go straight to the client's home and eliminates all this pesky overhead and equipment and all that kind of stuff. So check out Home Instead as a franchise option for in-home care, or there's a bunch of them. There's a lot of different options in the senior care industry. All right, this next boring franchise to check out is literally peak boring. It's back office bookkeeping. Now hear me out. You might be like, dude, I'm not an accountant. I don't know anything about this. As long as you have some sort of understanding of financial stuff, you can start a bookkeeping agency. I think there's a massive arbitrage happening right now with global talent as well as AI, meaning companies still want a human to be in charge of their books because it's so important. At the same time, you on the back end can save a ton of costs by utilizing global talent, meaning accountants in other countries. These are people who have their CPAs, but they live in Argentina, in a combination with AI, and maximize stuff because your costs are going to be so low. Now, obviously, you can think about it with bookkeeping. You don't need to have a physical location. A lot of these old school companies want you to have an office and like fax machines. You don't need any of that when it comes to this type of model because it's just boring and old school, and it's spreadsheets, it's QuickBooks, it's Xero, it's this kind of stuff. If you're going to get involved in this industry, in the bookkeeping industry, one franchise I would recommend is called Supporting Strategies. It's a franchise which has a lot of different units, and they specifically are back-end bookkeeping. If you want to do this yourself, I still think it's a fantastic, boring, old school niche. And think about it, you could be literally anywhere in the world while you work this operation because it's just financials. The cool thing is, I know this as a business owner, once you have a bookkeeper, like you don't really want to change them out. You don't want to think about it. You just want things to be done reliably and consistently, and it'll stay with them for years. So I love the bookkeeping industry. I think this is very conducive for a boring, old school remote business franchise model. This next boring old school franchise is something that people don't really think about when they finally graduate, but it is massively needed and is booming. This is the tutoring industry. Now there's a lot of tutor franchises which came out like Code Academy and stuff which help kids code. Obviously, I think with AI and the way things are going, these aren't exactly where to put your money into, but there's franchises like Tutor Doctor, which is specifically a tutoring franchise for after school. Let's say your kid needs help with math homework. You probably want someone either locally or even virtually who knows the system you could reach out to and get lessons from. As some more forward-thinking parents might think, I could get a math tutor in India and hire them remotely. Sure. Most parents who actually want to do well for the kids, have disposable income, want someone local who knows the school system. So for example, if you're like, I live in Tulsa and I run a Tutor Doctor franchise and I can help your kid because I've been through the same school system, the parent who has money will pick you. That's an example. Now, the reason why this can be done remotely is because you're typically not the one doing all the tutoring. You're going to hire people locally who can do the tutoring, right? These will be your employees, and the tutoring is always done at the client's home. It's not like you have a massive office in the center people go to. It's at the client's home, it's at the library, it's wherever you want it to be. Eventually, this could be even done on a virtual basis, and you can build compound revenue from this. So one franchise I like in the tutor space is called Tutor Doctor. I think they have like 300 locations. They run this exact same blueprint where the owner's not the one tutoring. They could hire people to manage the operation and run the tutoring service. Meantime, you could live anywhere you want while managing them. Now, I'm not saying you're going to pick one of these franchises and automatically make mountains of cash. Business doesn't work that way. It's typically a slower grind, but you could build compound generational income and revenue if you build things the right way. What I found is boring old school industries tend to have more durability. They're not prone to tariffs or AI or disruption. They're just kind of boring and in the background. And if you pick the right one, they can let you have the lifestyle you want by running things remotely, having more flexibility, have less costs, all that kind of good stuff. Now, if you just want to skip the trial and error, get on the rocket ship, I've already cracked the code with a fully remote cleaning business model called Mavis. I've been running my own location in Los Angeles for 12 plus years. There's over $1 million per year in annual recurring revenue, and I spend less than 5 hours a week on it now. What I'm doing now is helping franchisees set up the exact same thing in their market. So we have about over 40 franchise units right now running the remote cleaning model. We've systemized everything, documented everything, so you could have a fully remote lifestyle business if you'd like. Check out Made This Franchise if you're interested to learn more.